Hello and welcome back to the demo portion of our lecture video. So if you look at the syllabus in chapter 9, there's like a ton of problems. Yeah, we're not going to do all those problems. I apologize. So for your homework, here's what I want you to do. Just for chapter 9, I want you to do problem 9-3A, problem 9-4A, and problem 9-5A. In this video, in these videos, I'm gonna cover problem 9-3B, problem 9-4B, and problem 9-5B. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna look at is problem 9-3B. I'm on page 461. So we have to go through our depreciation methods, right? So they tell us on January 2nd, 2015, Alvarez Company purchased an electroplating machine to help manufacture a part for one of its key products. The machine cost $218,700 and was estimated to have a useful life of 6 years, or 781,200 platings, after which it could be sold for $23,400. So Part A wants us to calculate each year's depreciation expense for the period from 2015 to 2020 under each of the following depreciation methods. So first thing we're going to do is let's look at straight line. Actually, let's do it this way. This will be A1, okay? And again, this is problem 9-3B. So we need to do straight line. So remember how we calculate straight line depreciation. First thing we need to do is we need to take our acquisition cost I know that's spelled wrong, but oh well. Acquisition cost minus our salvage value, and we need to divide by the useful life. Okay, that's our calculation for straight line. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and plug in the numbers. Well, they told us that our original cost or acquisition cost was $218,700. Our salvage value, they tell us, is $23,400, and the useful life is 6 years. Okay, so in Excel, I'm going to calculate this out. I'm going to say equals, open parentheses. I'm going to click on my acquisition cost, subtract out my salvage value, close my parentheses, divide by 6. My depreciation is $32,550 per year for 6 years. Since straight line is the easiest to calculate, we only have to do one calculation, and we know in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020, we are going to take $32,550 of depreciation. Super easy, okay? So what we're going to do next is we're going to do part 2. I don't know why that's like it, but oh well. So they want us to do double declining. Super easy for us to do, right? Because we need to think back and recognize, okay, how do we calculate this, our depreciation, right? So the first thing we need to do is figure out what is our double declining balance, right? And it's twice the straight line amount. Well, how do I know how much the straight line amount is? Super easy for us to figure out. We're going to say 100% divided by 6, and then we're going to multiply that by 2. So to figure out, let's do it this way. So to figure out what our declining balance is, right? We're going to take 100% and divide it by its useful life. Then we're going to multiply by 2. And we should end up, divide by 2, not 3. We end up with 33 1/3. Okay, we're going to round, obviously, so we'll just say 33 1/3 is our double declining balance. Okay, so remember, we start with the acquisition cost. I'm just going to type in my cost. Okay. And remember, we have 6 years, so I'm going to say 2015. And we have to go all the way down to 2020. Okay? So I have my cost. I know what my cost is. Right? My cost was $218,700. Then I have to figure out what is my accumulated depreciation. Well, that's easy for us to figure out. In year 1, it's 0, right? What's my beginning book balance? Then I take my percentage, which in this case, I know my percentage is 33 1/3. And I'm just going to carry this all the way down. Okay, and that's my, and then I can figure out then what is my depreciation. Okay, so not too difficult here, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is recognize that, hey, my beginning book balance is $218,700. I'm going to multiply that by the 33 1/3. And I have an issue. 0.333. There we go. Actually, let's make it what it should be. We have a rounding issue here. There we go. Okay. So if you'll notice, I took it out. So our formula is actually 0.333334. Okay. So that's our depreciation percentage. And our depreciation in year 1 is $72,900. So that's year one. So in year two, in 2016, what's my accumulated depreciation? Well, it's $72,900. So what then is my beginning book value? Well, I take my cost less accumulated depreciation. Gives me $145,800. I then multiply this by my double declining percentage, and I get $48,600. Okay? So at this point, what's my accumulated depreciation? Well, I have my $72,900 plus my $48,600. So to start year 3, which is 2017, at the beginning of the year, what's the cost of the asset? Well, it's $218,700. What's my accumulated depreciation at the beginning of the year? Well, I have 2 years of depreciation. Just add those up. That's my accumulated depreciation, $121,500. So to figure out what my beginning book balance is, I just subtract, right? So my beginning book balance now in year 2017 is $97,200. I need to figure out what is my depreciation expense for 2017. Super easy. I take my beginning book balance and I multiply it by my percentage. I get $32,400. Okay? Go to year 2018. Super easy, right? I need to figure out what is the beginning book balance. Well, to figure that out, I need to figure out what is my accumulated depreciation when I start the year 2018. Well, I have 3 years of depreciation now, right? I originally had, when I started 2017, I had $121,500 of depreciation. In that year of 2017, I added $32,400. So my accumulated depreciation when I start my 3rd year, which is 2018, accumulated depreciation is $153,900. Okay, what's the beginning book value? Super easy for us to do. I take my cost minus the accumulated depreciation in year 2018. I get $64,800. What's my depreciation for that year? Super easy to do. Take the beginning book balance of $64,800 and I multiply it by my double declining balance percentage. I get $21,600. Okay? Guess what? Start 2019. What's my accumulated depreciation? Well, that's easy. I now have 4 years of depreciation. I need to add all those up, right? An easier way to do that is recognize that, well, when I started 2018, I had $153,900. In 2018, I added depreciation expense of $21,600. My accumulated depreciation then has to be $175,500. What's the beginning book value? Just subtract the cost minus accumulated depreciation, $43,200. Okay, what is my depreciation expense for this year? Super easy to do. I take my beginning book balance and I multiply it by my percentage. I get $14,400. Now, what's my accumulated depreciation? Super easy to do, right? I'm in 2020. How much depreciation did I take so far? I can add all these up, not a problem. Or I can recognize that, hey, when I started 2019, I had accumulated depreciation of $175,500. In 2019, I added $14,400 of depreciation to this accumulated amount. I get a balance of $189,900 is my accumulated depreciation. I subtract the two, and I find out my beginning book value is $28,800. Now, remember, when we use double declining, we don't worry about the salvage value, right? So my depreciation technically should be $9,600, right? Should be. But, or I'm sorry, it should be that. But remember, and I apologize, let's back up. I do need to remember the salvage value, right? My salvage value from the problem is $23,400. Okay? This right here is my salvage value. Right? This is not part of the calculation. You don't need this. I just want to do it for purposes for our purposes here, right? So I need to figure out. I need to leave a salvage value of $23,400. Okay. So how much am I going to depreciate? Right? Let's add this up. Let's add up all my depreciation. $199,500, right? I know at the end of the day, my depreciation amount needs to equal the cost minus the salvage value. It needs to be $95,300. Okay, that's what this number needs to be. So, if I think about it, I can just back into this number, right? If I take $5,400, look what my depreciation is, $95,300. Okay, how did I figure that out? Well, I could just take the difference between what my book value should be minus the value of depreciation or of accumulated depreciation that I've taken thus far, $5,400. So if I type in $5,400, I get my balance that I need. So the key here is recognizing that, number one, I know at the end of the day I got to end up at the book value, which is the cost minus accumulated depreciation, right? That book value needs to be $23,400. So I need to figure out how much depreciation do I get, right? Well, if I take the cost of the asset minus my salvage value, that basically tells me the total depreciation I'm taking for the life of this asset, okay? At the end of the day, all this depreciation needs to add up to whatever that value is, okay? Now let's look at C, AC, or Part C of A. Or how about A3? That's much better, okay? All right. So for A3, what are we doing? Well, for A3, the problem tells us that we're using units of product, correct? So we need to figure out what the units of production are. They tell us that assume that the annual production in plating is, and they give us their numbers, right? 140,000, 180,000, 150,000, 125,000, 105,000, and 81,200. Okay? So what we need to do is figure out, okay, we can do this, no problem. What is our percentage, right? What is the percentage that we need to take? Super easy for us to do. What we need to do is figure out what's our cost. So this is the calculation for units of production. So in order to calculate this, all we need to do is figure out what's our cost minus our salvage value. And then we divide that by the estimated production. Okay? So I already know right off the bat what my cost is, right? Cost is $218,700. I know what my salvage value is. My salvage value is $23,400. I need to figure out what my units of production are. So I'm going to add up all 6 of these numbers. 140,000 plus 180,000 plus 150,000 plus 125,000 plus 105,000 plus $81,200. Total estimated production in units is $781,200. Okay? Pretty easy. So we need to figure out what is the depreciation per unit. So I'm going to take my, in Excel, equals, open parentheses, my cost minus my salvage value, close parentheses, divide by my estimated production, which is $781,200. I end up with 0. No, not really. I end up with 25 cents. Okay, so that's 25 cents per unit. Okay, so now what I need to do is to take my units that I actually produced, which they gave us, our annual productions in plating, right? There we go, so we can see better. So I'm going to do the same thing. I need to create a chart, right? I'm going to do 2015. Oh, sorry. I'm going to do 2015 all the way down to 2020. Okay, so oh, sorry, those are my years, right? The next thing I need is to plug in what is my annual production. Well, the problem told us that 140,000. Sorry to bore you to death, but 180,000, 150,000, 125,000. 105,000 and 81,200. Okay, so that's our annual production, right? Next thing we need is our depreciation, or to calculate our annual depreciation, we need the depreciation per unit, which we already know what it is. It's 0.25 0.25, and we can figure out what our annual depreciation is for each year. In order to do this, all we have to do is multiply, right? Super simple. We have to multiply our annual production times our depreciation per unit. And in year 1, we get $35,000. We do the same thing for year 2. Okay, and we get $45,000. Since I already have the formulas already plugged in here, I'm just going to click and drag down just to make it easier. And we get all of our depreciation. Okay, now we need to make sure that at the end of the day, all this depreciation that we have here, and let's do it this way. equals up to our $195,300. It does. Now, how did I get that $195,300 of accumulated depreciation? Again, I took my cost, took my salvage value. I'm just going to abbreviate and say SV for salvage value. I know it's 200. Oh, let's do this. I know it's 281,000. I know my salvage value is 23,400. The difference between these two is $195,300. That's the cost of depreciation total, right? Cost of depreciation total. So at the end of our time period, or the end of our useful life, the total amount of depreciation should equal that, okay? So let's look at part B. What's part B say? Look at B1. So B1 says, assume that the machine was purchased on September 1st, 2015. Calculate each year's depreciation expense for the period 2015 through 2021 under each of the following depreciation methods: straight line and double declining. Okay, so now what we need to realize is bear with me here for a second while I just create this. What I want to do is show you that we have a time frame that we need to worry about. And that time frame says that we bought it on September of 2015, correct? Yes. September, October, November, and December, all of 2015. Okay? So let's look at straight line for a second. Okay? We know how to calculate straight line. In fact, we don't even need to calculate anything. We already know what our depreciation expense is. Okay? So, we know right off the bat that our depreciation is $32,500 for the year, for each year. Okay, that's what it is. So let's think about it this way. September, October, November, December, that's 4 months. So in the first year, we only get 4 months of depreciation. Okay, super easy for us to do. We're going to take our annual depreciation amount, which we already figured out to be $32,500, and we need to multiply that by 4/12. Why is this not working? There we go. Okay, 4/12. So to figure out depreciation in year 2015, I take my yearly depreciation and multiply it by 4/12. And that's $10,850. That's the depreciation in 2015. Okay? Now, 2016 through 2020. Guess what? It's going to be $32,500 per year each year. Okay? Now, let's look at 2021. So let's think about this. I already took 4 months of depreciation at the beginning. I got 5 years of depreciation from 2016 to 2020, right? 2021, I have 8 months of depreciation that I still need to take. Okay, excuse me. How do I figure that out? We'll think about. We'll think about it. In September of 2015, September, October, November, December, I got 4 months. So in 2021, I need to do the same exact thing, but I need to factor in, or basically not factor in, I just need to count my time. That's all I need to do, right? So I know I have 8 months. So I have January, February, March, April, June, July, forgot May, didn't I? May, June, July. Oh. In August. Okay. Okay. So I have these 8 months here, right? I need depreciation for 8 months because I have 8 months left to depreciate this thing. Super easy, super simple for us to do. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take for 2021, we're going to take our depreciation expense, which is $32,550, and then we're going to multiply that by 8/12, right? Why 8? Because we have 8 months. Why 12? Because there's 12 months in a year. Okay, and we get 0.6666667. Okay, so to figure out what our depreciation is, we're going to multiply. And we get $21,700. That's how we find the depreciation for year 2015, 2016, and 2020. Very straightforward. 2021, we got to factor in those months. How many months do we have? Well, we have 8/12. So we take our annual depreciation and multiply it by that percentage, 8/12. We get a depreciation expense for year 2021 to be $21,700. So keep in mind here, when we're calculating depreciation for the year, we can do that very simply. We run into a little calculation, right? I don't want to say problem. It's a calculation we have to do if we have 6 years and the beginning of our time period starts halfway through the year or 3/4 of the way through the year. Okay? So that's how you do part B1. Now let's look at B2, right? B2 wants us to use a double declining, okay? So we're pretty much going to do the same exact thing, okay? And what I want to do is just to make this a little bit more simpler and less time consuming, I'm going to come up here, right? Because we have all our calculations, right? But let's think about this for a minute. In fact, I'll copy and paste this just to make it easier on us. Okay, so we have all our information here. Okay, we have all our information. And what we need to do is we need to figure out how much depreciation are we going to take in year 1, right? So let's think about that, right? In year 1, we have $729,000, right? That's our yearly depreciation that we should take in year 1. But we got to take a percentage of that, okay? What percentage do we have to take? We have to take 4/12 of that, right? Because just like we did up here in B1, September, October, November, and December, I don't get a full year's depreciation because I bought it in September. I only get 4 months of depreciation. So in that case, if we take this and we multiply this by 4/12, we get $24,300. That's the depreciation in year 1. In year 2, our depreciation is $64,800. In year 3, it's $43,200. Year 2, it is $28,800. In year 2019, we get $19,200. Now, in year 2020, right, we should get a full year's depreciation here, okay, because again, we're going into 2021. So in order to figure this out, what I need to do is figure out what should my depreciation be in year 6. Well, that's super easy for us to do, right? And how do we do that? Well, we know that we have to figure out what is our we have to figure out what is our accumulated depreciation at this point of 2020. And our accumulated depreciation in 2020 should be $180,300, right? We're going to multiply that by 33%. We get $12,800, okay? And again, all I did to figure this out was just take, in year 1 or 2015, I needed to take a fraction, okay? The rest of the calculation's still the same. What's my accumulated depreciation? Calculate the new book value, multiply it by double declining percentage. Same thing in the third year, 2017. Same thing for 2018. So when I get to 2021, I need to look and say, okay, what is my accumulated depreciation at this point? Well, it's $180,300 plus the $12,800. My accumulated depreciation is $193,100, right? What do we have to have, right? Well, we know we need our cost minus our salvage value, which is $23,400. This total down here, let's do it this way. Our total needs to add up to that $195,300. The difference between these two is like 2,000 and some. Well, they won't let me do that. Crap. I'll just type it in, 193,100. It's $2,200, okay? So remember, in the final year, we cannot take a full year's depreciation because we have to factor in those months, right? And that's how you do problem 9-3A for you, okay? We did 9-3B. If this was as clear as mud, I get it. Just reach out to me after you watch it. Text me with your questions. I'd be happy to go over this with you, okay? So we come back in our next video, we're going to look at problem 9-4B. So tune back in for that one.